How's it going, everyone? Thank you for sticking around. If you were here, there might be ads, pre-rolls running. Who knows? It's like the jankest way to separate your VODs, but YouTube uploads take like 2 or 3 hours on my shitty internet connection, so like just downloading it and then chopping it and then uploading them separately, it takes like a whole day, whereas if I do it that way, I literally just press the button twice and it uploads from Twitch's server straight over to YouTube, so thank you. If you haven't checked out the YouTube and you're here, I would say don't bother because it's just the VODs, basically. They're not muted if any of these VODs end up muted. But yeah, there's nothing extra over there. But you could give it a subscribe. I don't know, help out the algorithm, push people there, and then push people here. That's the whole idea. So anyway, last time on Dragon Ball Z, we played this deck in a modern league. We encountered all of the decks we planned to play against. We encountered, except elementals, thank God. We encountered Primeval Titan. We lost, just barely, on a mull of 4, game 3. We beat Hammer Time pretty soundly. Prime Punishment was fantastic. We played against Black-White Reanimator Sewer Garbage. Beat them pretty handily. We played against Living End. Beat them easily. Play against Enchantress. It was close. They kept a bad hand in game 3. We're not super well set up for Enchantress. We have 1 Masked Vandal. If you really, we also have these Crime Punishments as outs. If you do plan on seeing Enchantress at your local game store, don't leave your Engineered Explosives and Crime Punishments behind, but also maybe think about playing a version that has Grumgully in it. And why do I say that? Enchantress sets up this lock where they have a bunch of mana and they themselves are hexproof or shroud or have shroud. And they then try to kill you with creatures that don't have hexproof. So Murderous Redcat plus Grumgully plus Sack Outlet, and by Sack Outlet I mean Skirt Prospector only because you can't sack things to Sling Gang while they have hexproof. Anyway, that is infinite damage not just to players but to creatures, so you can just kill Emrakul or their huge lands that they make just over and over and over again. They do have outs to that, but it gives you time to draw to your really good cards that wipe their enchantments out without targeting them. So that's something to think about. If you expect a lot of Enchantress, consider Grumgully Murderous Redcat. But we're gonna run it back with this. I mean, everything seemed relevant. Nothing seemed bad. Why not play again, right? There's a modern prelim in 9.5 hours. No thank you. That's how I learn about the organized play. Just as I'm queuing up, I see. That's it. There's no good place to go look. So, right back into it. Right back into it. See what we got. SS0. This guy is Super Saiyan level 0. And as such, they have Kahira. So Kahira usually means... Oh, well, Kahira usually means elementals, actually. I was going to say Tron, but that's the other guy. So... This isn't great versus elementals, but what is? I mean, we have a turn 2 Pyre, which is our way to, like, outvalue them. And turn 3 combos don't really do anything. So I guess we keep this against what we suspect is an elemental's opponent. Now, it could be cats. But if it's cats, I will consider the game won already, because that is a deck that you shouldn't be playing in Modern, which means we'll beat it. And the decks that we're bad against are the decks you should be playing in Modern, which are things like Rhino and Elementals. Our sideboard plan against Elementals is to just try to Blood Moon the shit out of them ASAP. As you can see, their mana is a little iffy. They're making blue manas. Alright, well, drawing a Munitions Expert would be so good here. And we drew one of the worst draws in our deck. I think this game is already lost, if I'm being honest. I think this game is already lost. I think our only hope is to play our own value engine and hope that they don't have the tutor to get the crumbler or whatever the thing is called that kills it. Teferi's a good card. Teferi is a good card, but it is not an elemental. It does bounce our Pyre. It didn't bounce our Aether Vial, at least. That's like a small victory. Maybe next turn I play Aether Vial plus Mog War Marshal, so we can pressure the Teferi. They have 5 cards in hand, so playing the Snoop out, unlikely to survive. So we gotta play the cards with keyword bad that will survive because they don't want to kill them. And as cards with keyword bad often do, they force you into horrible situations. I'm gonna have to pay Echo if I want to kill this Teferi, and they don't play something like an Omnath. So Omnath with Risen Reef is obviously devastating. Not a lot of good answers to that for us. Not a lot of good ones. I mean, they're going to gain life, which we don't much care about. We're just glad this wasn't a fetch land. As a fetch land, they probably play some absurd, heinous shit. We just die. But here, well, we don't have to pay Echo anymore because we can't attack their Omnath. So there's that. We will take up the Vial. Won't pay Echo. We have a Vial on 1. Now, how could Snoop possibly survive? Could it possibly survive is the question. Does it matter? Maybe I'm supposed to play Snoop and Pyre, and then next turn I just Matron, get Snoop. I think that's reasonable. I have no way to kill any of this, right? I don't have main deck Tarfire, I don't think. I chose not to. I can't play Matron and kill this with, you know, Munitions Expert. Can't get to Munitions Expert any cute way. So yeah, we're just gonna Pyre and Snoop here. That's unfortunately our best play because it's, I mean, it sounds like a good play, but actually doesn't beat this by a sight. I mean, Kiki Jiki's on top. Does that mean... I mean, we're expecting the Snoop to be removed. So, like, it doesn't really change anything. just means I'm drawing Kiki Jiki, which I don't want to. Which kind of sucks. That emote is a lot happier than the event actually is. But it may force them to play in some type of way, so. That looked like another Omnath. Which, sure. Cycle Omnath, I'll take it. But no, it's Fury. Holy fuck. Fury is so good against us. Just hard casting Fury? Like, I can't beat that. Hard cast Fury, draw a card? Yeah, okay. Like, you're just, so, while Elementals and Rhino are the top decks, we're gonna have a hard time. Now, they can't flash in Fury. They can, however, flash in Solitude. Tick up the Vial, draw Kiki Jiki. We're a little bit butthurt about it. We play Matron. Sound of the thunder and the rain falling down. All right, what do we got here? I mean, I guess you just get Munitions Expert while they're tapped out. You kill this thing, and like, I can actually turn Munitions Expert into another Matron. So we'll do that. But 3/3 Double Striker and Omnath is like not promising. Oh my god, it's like, yeah, they have Ephemerate too. I walked right into that. Was there a way to not walk right into that, given that they have Teferi? Probably not. Man, it goes from bad to worse though. Can grab a basic mountain. So we can get a 4-drop, or we can get a 3-drop. I think I want to get a 3-drop. Oh, they're just gonna, oh no, they're just gonna Fury Ephemerate? Oh my god. We can't beat this. We should really, I mean, if I was... okay. I mean, that was... I mean, that's fine. You can't Ephemerate. Like, kind of just informed my play, but it doesn't change anything, really. I just need cards. Like, you can see we're like sort of keeping up on card advantage, but you can't keep a board state. You know what I mean? So, what can you do? Is that the last song of the show? Whoop. Nope. Oh, I love this song. Just gonna go to it now instead of waiting the minute. So, this would be embarrassing if they did anything but Fury. Like, if they just Omnathed here, drew 2 cards, didn't even care about this stupid ringleader, it'd be sick. They should have done that, because I have to chump this Fury. Oh, going right to the feedback. Take 5. I mean... Oh, I was gonna say, there might be paths to victory here with Vile, but now that there aren't Vile aspirations, like, we could have theoretically, like, got a Kiki Jiki into play to give haste to our conspicuous Snoop, but we're just like super fucking dead to this. Yeah, we're not getting out of this one fellas, ladies and gentlemen. This is about all we got. 7-card sideboard. Is Fatal Push actually good against them? No. Tarfire's decent though. And Thoughtseize promises to take an Ephemerate or an early thing to allow us to combo. What are our 6 worst cards? What are we trying to do? We're trying to lock them out of the game with Blood Moon. But they are still going to be able to cast Solitudes and such to interact with our combo. So even though the combo is the fastest way to close the game out, I think cutting down 2 Harbingers is okay. I actually don't think Crater Maker does anything here. So we'll just go like this. But, not looking good for our hero. That was embarrassing. This hand is ultimate doo-doo garbage tier. Mulligan that one. This hand is not good. It's not ultimate doo-doo garbage tier, but it's not good. We really wanted a Blood Moon. We didn't want to try to turn 3 combo them. Because the turn 3 combo is incredibly unlikely. Our hope is that they don't interact with our Vial and they tap out for something dumb. We get to, like, Vial in Snoop. Oh no. That's the beginning of a bad sequence of draws. Sling Gang Lieutenant means there's only one Sling Gang Lieutenant left in the deck. Which means even in the unlikely event. Good Fall of Troy song? Album? I think it's the song that I like the most. You should take a look at that one. Renin 6. So, I mean, it doesn't even mean... that should be revealed. If we're conceding that the revealed section is really just the hand tracker, that's what it is. Wow, no black mana. Interesting. When they put a land into their hand with Renin 6, they should reveal that, but I think it was a Windswept Heath? It was a Windswept Heath. I'm reading it. I got it wrong. I thought it was a Wooded Foothills, but I was incorrect. It's just my hand. That's all green and red. And Renin 6, I suppose. See. Okay, so they tapped out for something dumb. They're probably going to bounce my Vial. They're not necessarily dead. They have a ton of free spells. And we're not drawing a black land. So there's that. Man. This is not common to not have black mana on turn 3. But it is what it is. I was a tournament grinder, here's what tournament grinders will do to you. You'll be tapped out. They'll go, you're tapped out? Okay. They don't have any black mana. They lay Boggart Harbinger on the table and they say, I would like to cast Boggart Harbinger. And that's it. And they'll wait for you to pack up your cards. And you shouldn't pack up your cards. They didn't actually cast it. They can't cast it. They didn't tap any mana. And if you're not paying attention, you'll lose. So we are almost certainly dead here. I mean, they have green and white mana, so this Blood Moon is going to do nothing. This just did not work out in our favor. It's like... I mean, when I talk about why I don't think, the modern format is that fun right now, has a lot to do with games like this. Like, you have brick house sideboard cards that will win you the game if you find them in your opening hand only. So you're mulling low. You're kind of deciding the game on the first couple turns, sometimes even before the game is started, because you have to mull to 4 or 5 or whatever. Okay. I mean, that's probably Ephemerate and not anything else, so like... Oh. Solitude Ephemerate is a thing. So that's what that is. Still gotta try to attack Ren in 6. I've already informed them that I'm not going to be comboing. Just gonna cast this Blood Moon because it's all I can do. Our Aether Vials will allow us to get these black cards into play if it comes to that. It won't. We can't cast this Thoughtseize, so that sucks. Not having black mana, that was just unlucky. Like, if you had black mana on that turn where they tapped out for Teferi, they probably still had this Solitude. So, like, do I think we would have won? No. Do I think this game is anywhere close to being close, given that they have 3 basics and the best thing we could have done is play Blood Moon and try to combo? No. So, Super Saiyan 0 is enough to beat our hero on Elementals. Let's hope we get not Mill in the loser's bracket. But, I mean, if there were ever a deck for the loser's bracket, it would be Mill. I'm gonna eat this Reese's stick. It's like a shitty... I don't remember the name for those things. You remember those, they're not really cookies, are they? But they're like, oh man, I want to say that they're called wafers. Some kind of wafer that I can't remember. I'm gonna Google it. But they're like, those like waffly, not really cookies. It's hard to call them cookies. Yeah, I guess they're just wafer cookies. These things on the right. What do you call those? Sugar wafers. That was it. They're just sugar wafers that are covered in chocolate and filled with peanut butter instead of sweet cream. They're not very good. The candy that I'm eating. If I was Pro ZD and I was given it a rank, C+. C+, I would say. His hand is doo-doo garbage tier, I think. Turn 1 Hierarch, turn 2 Boggart Harbinger kinda sucks. They haven't revealed anything. I mean, we do have Acceleration. Do you also have Basic Swamp? But your mana will be fine. Yeah, okay. I'll keep it. I don't think it's good, but on the off chance that they're a Thoughtseize deck, or a deck with like 0 interaction, getting Hierarch out, we'll be able to play Ringleader pretty quick, and once you know what they are, you can tutor with your Harbinger. Of course, it's Glimpse. So, I believe the best thing we can do is, number 1, pay the actual mana cost for our spells, but I think we just put a Snoop on top, play Snoop next turn, hope they don't have a kill, because half the time they kill you, and half the time they just have to untap. And those are hard and fast statistics. It's actually a coin flip. They're not allowed. It's not even like people ran simulations. It's the rules are that they have to flip a coin. Ooh, is it? Okay, it's Yawgmoth. We may be fine. I think we're just supposed to play Snoop out. And then, alright, so... I mean, they don't know for sure that I have Harbinger in my hand. If they have Chord, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can't... Well, now they have 7. They can get Yawgmoth off Chord. But not if they're tapping low now. Actually, that's free as far as Chord is concerned. So Yawgmoth stops our combo. Yawgmoth stops our combo. That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what happens is they get to pass the turn, which means Wall of Roots can activate again. So each Wall of Roots can. Well, I guess let's step back a second. Chord of Calling has Convoke. Wall of Roots can both make mana for it and tap for it. So it can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana. So they can get up to 5. Which means if they have a Chord, Yawgmoth is in the cards here. If Yawgmoth is in the cards, I think we just actually lose because they have a higher life total than us. So, I guess we just have to go for it now because there's no beating it, right? So here it comes. Chord of Calling for 4. So Yawgmoth comes down. If you haven't seen it, we'll let it play out for just a second. We don't know if they know when to interact with our combo. So there's that. But even if they make the mistake, they can actually just keep going. So, yeah, they're targeting Snoop. Just going to do it again. So they sack a creature, it gets Undying. They now sack the other creature, targeting their first Undying creature. Okay, that didn't matter. They did that kind of wrong, didn't they? I mean, they can still kill our Snoop, right? But we may be able to get... No, because they can just sack these creatures, right? Yeah. So, now they are still on 61 goblins. Yup. Well, I don't actually enjoy playing Modern that much. But, when I'm playing it, instead of playing Catgirl Final Fantasy games, yeah. So we're dead to them hitting us for 1 damage, 2 damage, and they can do that. So, I mean, we've lost this game. They've assembled it. There's ways to wiggle out if they make a huge mistake, but they're not gonna. How has it been? We just went 4-1 a few minutes ago. We played against Hammer Time, Titan, Enchantress. Hammer Time, Titan, Enchantress. Black White Reanimator. And Living End. So Hammer Time, Living End, and Titan are the real decks, and we went 2-1 in those. We only lost to Prime Time. And it was close, the Prime Time game. I think this card just devastates them. I don't know if Leyline of the Void is actually good. Yawgmoth is pretty big. I guess we want to Thoughtseize. And I think we just are trying to combo them like ASAP. Like, you're not attacking through them. They probably have... Oh, they probably have Plague Engineer. So these Thoughtseizes are... These Leylines are probably... You know what? These cards are just bad. Don't bring those in. Let's be able to Bolt the Bird and the Plague Engineer. I think these Leylines probably... I mean... Like, they can't combo. And then we just combo if we Leyline them, right? Like, do I not want Thoughtseize and then I just want 4 Leylines? That's a possibility. Like, you probably just don't even want Fatal Push and Tarfire. Although, no, you need stuff to kill Plague Engineer. This is tough. Because I still gotta cut cards here. I guess we'll take out Fatal Push. We gotta cut 2 more cards. I don't know. This is obviously a weird sideboard strategy, but I don't... Yawgmoth players got a lot better than they used to be. We used to be very favored, but I think it's because people just had a bad build and didn't know how to play. This is like a pretty bad hand. There's like not even a lot of things you can draw to make it better. Like, boy, do I regret. Although most of their deck is air, so we'll keep this, put back Kiki Jiki. We have some acceleration. We'll Thoughtseize them. But anyway, there's decks we can't beat in the meta, and then there's decks we can get lucky against. And there's really no... As far as, like, decks people should be playing, we're not favored. Like, you can beat Hammer Time, you can beat Prime Time, you can beat... Well, Living End, you're favored. I don't ever consider Living End a deck you should be playing, but people keep playing it, so whatever. Do I just pop this? I think I just popped that. Like, why let them get any value off of that? Oh, maybe I Thoughtseize them and then pop it next turn? Yeah, let's thought seize them and see what they got going on. Wandering Wolf, Wall of Roots, Plague Engineer. Get out of here. We want to be able to play future thought seizes. It sucks that we have to go this low, but Young Wolf is coming down through this vial. Doesn't really make a difference. I think I'm just gonna, yeah. I think we just play Pyre. So anyway, as far as decks in the meta that people should be playing, you have a coin flip matchup against all the combo decks except Living End, which you're favored against. And against the real good decks like Blue-Red Murktide, Elementals, and Rhinos. Well, Rhinos, you're 0%, pretty much. Tron, you win. You just beat them. Tron stinks. But Blue-Red, Elementals, decks like that, you're kind of coin flipping, like to see if you can get your sideboard cards. You lose game one pretty much every time, like unless you can steal it, and then you're hoping that your sideboard cards shut them out and that they don't have red interaction. You can say I've been taking a small break. It's like, how do I put it? We're just gonna play Skirk Prospector and Thoughtseize here, I think. We're at 10 life, not exciting. It's just that, like, I play mostly Modern. I like playing Limited, but it's very expensive. So, not something you can really do all the time. Am I supposed to just play Crater Maker to then turn into... No, because if I'm gonna combo them ASAP... Oh, I was just supposed to turn this into Snoop? I guess I could do that next turn. I guess you just turn this into Snoop. Then you hope to draw land. Okay. But yeah, I only own Goblins on MTGO. I don't like the rental services. Like, they shit the bed when MH2 came out anyway. But yeah, if I'm gonna be the Goblins deck, there's really like you're just gambling, right? Like you're really just gambling. All they had in hand that we know about is a Yavimaya. Or it was an Urborg? I thought it was a Yavimaya. So like I can play league after league and hope that I hit Tron, Hammer Time, and so I turn Skirk Prospector into Snoop. And then I play Crater Maker. Okay. No, I turn Ignoble into Snoop. And then I play Crater Maker. And then they're dead next turn. And we just have to fade. Why didn't they play Urborg? Did they... What happened? Did they accidentally, like... F6 through their land drop? They must have. Oh, they didn't want to give me black mana, I guess? Interesting. It's a mistake, if you ask me. Let's see what they drew. Yeah, it's like, the matchups are not interesting. The grindy stuff you can't really beat because they're just better than you. Yawgmoth here is gonna fuck my day up. I didn't think drew Eldritch Evolution. Like, that's it, right? What could we... Wait, what? little bit surprising. But I guess it makes sense. But if I draw... Oh, they know what I'm drawing. Oh, and they have... Wow, they draw so many cards. Alright, so we lose. We know what we're drawing. Can't beat that. Might be ways to deal with this deck that we don't have in our sideboard, ways that I don't know, but whatever. Yeah, it's when I say it's glorified gambling, it's like the matchups that you want to hit are coin flippy. You're just mulliganing to your devastating sideboard cards, and that's it. Like, or your combo, and it's very much like, remember that format that was like kind of big on Reddit for like 2 weeks, where they were like, you just come with a 3-card deck, period, and then you lay them out. You see who wins. And everybody was like trying to... It's like a meta building exercise. It's not really a format, you know what I mean? It's like that. It's like you're okay. Let me see your hand. Here's my hand. Did I win this game or did you? Like, they're like, well, I don't know. Are you on the play or the draw? I don't know. Let's flip a coin and see. Okay, you're on the play. You won. Not just because you're on the play, but because what's also in your hand, right? So it's like just a series of unfun binary decisions that you're either making or leaving up to chance. Like, okay, my hand doesn't have turn 2 Blood Moon in it. Is it good enough to keep? Probably not. Mulligan. You do that all the way down to 5, and then it's a tough one. You probably still should mulligan down to 4. I don't know. It's just... It's silly. And it would be one thing if the games where that wasn't the case were good games, right? But we kind of just get shit-canned in the games that that aren't those types of games. And yeah, I mean, it didn't used to be. It didn't used to be. Everybody's pretending right now that it's the player draw thing that's so broken, instead of just like calling out the cards that are unfun because they're so powerful. Like, Magic is a fantastic... Do you keep this? Because you can turn 2 Matron. I think I do keep this. They're on the play, though. I think we keep this. They didn't reveal anything. If it's Yawgmoth, we're just dead. We're in the O2 bracket, though, so who cares? Alright, it's Control. We should be fine against Control. We got every piece of the combo in hand except the one we need. I see. It's sad to hear that that's what... I mean, did you ever play Limited? Like, the thing is... Oh my god! Come on! Well, Limited is the best Magic format, and Limited is what every format... I don't know if they do, but they should strive to be. I guess I need black mana. So I'll do this. How do I describe it? If you listen to pros talk about the glory days of Magic, right? The pros who make their bread and butter playing Constructed on stream and grind in Arena or whatever the fuck people do these days. MPL, whatever. They all will tell you that, like, the best parts of the game were, without fail, some older part of the game that either the limited format was great, or like the format was so weak that the games were back and forth and your decisions, like the games were just long. Like nobody is looking back and going, oh yeah, I loved what was it, Urza's Summer or whatever it is, like, or Urza Winter, Combo Winter. Nobody loved Eldrazi Winter. Nobody loved any of the shit where it got degenerate, right? Everybody likes long, back and forth games. Do I just play Snoop out here? Like, the chances that this is not interaction, like Archmage's Charm, is 0, but it's better that I force them to Archmage's Charm rather than, you know, allow them to do anything else, right? So, like, invariably, these high-powered formats are, like, one step from being unplayable at all times, right? So, the best format, and people, so there's another type of player, and they are not pros, by the way, who think Legacy is the best format. You'll find all these legacy players that, you know, maybe they've been to a Pro Tour, but they're not like the guys who play the best are people who just play a lot and they love running it back and drafting and outplaying people and whatever. They don't really like picking a deck and sticking with it, and that's kind of what most of the legacy people are all about, right? Well, they didn't have interaction last time, but I could just attack with Snoop, whatever. Oh, I could be walking into a Supreme Verdict? I don't care, though. This will allow us next turn to try to combo them. But it looks like a Supreme Verdict, so what do you do? But anyway, what I'm saying is, back in the day when Magic was low-powered, it was great, or Limited is still good no matter when you play it, basically. Like, Limited is still fantastic. You can have Prismatic Ending, or although Archmage's Charm does stop us, doesn't it? Prismatic Ending doesn't. If I'm trying to win next turn, I just do this. I don't care about Chalice at all. Oh, I can't even combo them. I have 2 Kikis in my hand. We're just playing the long game. So, like... I think that's the correct split. I was gonna say there's these other people that play Legacy, and the reason they think Legacy is the best format is because, and this is true, even if they tell you it's not true. I'm about to blaspheme on some Legacy players that don't know what their inner, deepest, most darkest feelings about the game are, because they think that they like Legacy because it's powerful and interesting and broad and diverse and whatever. Legacy in its golden ages at all times was always held in check by Delver-type decks that kept the power level low and the games on low resources. That's why Wasteland and Rashad Port and Force of Will and all that stuff, that's why Legacy is fun. The games are low resource games, just like Limited. Like, That's why Days is interesting. That's why you can even play a tempo strategy, because low resource games, they reward the players who make good decisions. They make the top of your deck matter. It's just like Magic at its purest. And that's why Limited is fun. That's why Legacy was the best format for a while. And that's why formats like Modern kind of suck, if you ask me. So we could like fake the combo and get him to try and counter it, which I don't mind. Like, there's no way he lets this go. Yeah. So now, I believe we kill Teferi, and we draw this Cavern of Souls. And that's, like, probably enough to win the game, that Cavern of Souls, but... yeah. So, that was, like, a really long, drawn-out way. Okay, so his Teferi doesn't die. Which is fine, but I still want to draw this Cavern of Souls. That was just a long, drawn-out way to say, if you don't play Limited, you really... There's nothing better than going to Friday Night Magic and just queuing up for a draft, and it's like your first draft of the format or your third draft of the format. Like, those are just great times. You're learning, you're seeing new cards, you're figuring out new strategies. Drafting 600 times on Arena and playing best of one is a totally dog shit experience compared to what real Magic is. Like, don't do it. If you hear me say play Limited and you think, oh yeah, all right, I'll put some gems into Arena, no. Don't do that. Did you see that mind game I just pulled on my opponent? Did you see that? Supreme Verdict doesn't matter at all. We have infinite cards in our hands. Counterspell didn't matter at all either, but... that feels good. They can't counter anything here. So, what do we got? What do we got? What do we got? You can kill this Teferi. They're gonna untap and Supreme Verdict us. We can't stop that. But, like, who cares? Red, black. Kill Teferi. I mean, if I didn't have... If I had another mana, I could pull this off the top. Probably okay with drawing that one, to be honest. It's like, doesn't really matter. We're gonna play Ringleader next turn after they Verdict. But yeah, constructed formats are very rarely good. The last time there was a constructed format that was actually good, let me think. Like, besides Legacy when Delver was king and Stoneblade was running around and before Miracles took over. I think it was Junk Reanimator. And so that was like Return to Ravnica. Wow, the whiff! That is unlikely. But that's okay. I think Junk Reanimator was supposedly the last good constructed format. Besides random pockets of Legacy when Star City Games was on every Sunday and we could all gather around and watch it. Yeah, I can pretty much say that. That's the only format that I know people like want to go back and play. You know what I mean? Like, I've heard of people making constructed gauntlets of just that. I actually have a friend that did that as well, but I saw that online, and then he did that afterwards, I believe. Just gonna put another ringleader on top here. Uncounterably so. But yeah, limited F&M Magic the Gathering is the gold standard. Like, people play EDH in Commander, same thing. And it like attempts to capture that feel of when you were a kid and like your deck was 100 cards because you didn't know better, not because the rules said it. And you had one cool creature because that was all you had opened. And your deck was all the colors that were in that creature because you liked all those colors and you wanted to play it. And you were probably splashing for it. Like, I played Vampiric Dragon as a kid. If they don't Cryptic Command us, they're just dead? What is this? What are you doing? Are you Shark Typhooning? For like 100? Okay. I mean, that's fine, right? They take 2, they go to 4, and they die? Unless they have subtlety here, they're dead. Welcome to the O2. All right, Rich Davis. Honestly, our main deck is just fine against these decks. We can bring in a couple Thoughtseizes. We don't need to combo them as badly as you saw. Maker probably isn't relevant here, so just go like that. Not even gonna think too hard. But yeah, if you can get out to Friday, we'll keep this hand. If you can get out to, although this hand is really bad against Teferi, but we can like discard a Teferi, so. If you can get out to a limited F&M, I can recommend that. Easily. Without... We need to be able to cast Thoughtseize. But you always turn one vial. Yeah, low-powered Magic is the best. Magic where your combo didn't work, you're drawn off the top of your deck because you didn't curve out, and you kind of just have a whole bunch of jank. Ooh, alright, so we can't cast Thoughtseize anymore, which is the thing. I guess I just have to... pass. Forgot that they were a Spreading Seas deck, if I'm being perfectly honest, but... I mean... we should be able to, like... we should be able to get by with 2 Aether Vials. Like, even if they Teferi here, like, it's gonna die if they bounce my Aether Vial, so... here you go. I'll take it. I'll do it for free, chicken. Alright, so... ticking up the vial. Going to the main. Playing our lands. Probably gonna... well, definitely gonna kill... let's just kill Teferi before we fuck up. Probably gonna Thoughtseize. And play this other vial. Like, the other option is... no, there is no other option. guess we just get another Blood Crypt. And let's try and make sure that our Blood Crypt doesn't get fucked. Torpor Orb? Torpor Orb? That's not fair. You can't have that one. Probably should have already played it. You're asking me. That was a mistake. That was a mistake, for sure. My throat is killing me. Oh my god, it's been a long time since I've talked for this long. Probably after this league, so as soon as we hit our third loss, or our third win, actually, because that's the max on this one right now. We'll be headed out. Oh my god, does my throat hurt. I mean, so they tried to cut us off of our colored mana, when in reality, the most threatening land to them is Cavern of Souls. So, like, it's, you know, they probably shouldn't have done that. It doesn't actually matter this game because, doesn't actually matter this game. Yep, that's fine. Because we drew 2 Cavern of Souls and they haven't drawn a second Spreading Seas yet, but, you know, I think they just lose single-handedly. Oops. Oh, no, they already did. They played this island. They have 4 cards in hand. They have a Solitude. Well, would you like to, wanna stop me here? You got it. Solitude, that is. But going to your LGS, seeing the same people every week, drafting against them, having a good time, nothing beats that. The only reason to play Constructed is that those same people will be there. And you've been talking about Magic with them and you want to see how it goes. But Limited is the god tier best format in my opinion. I mean, we don't have a way to give haste. Not that we could do it with this amount of mana anyway. We'll gladly trade with the Solitude. Like, don't actually care about that. Just gonna see what's on top. Normally you would use the Vial. Okay. So they have 3 cards in hand. They're gonna have 4 now. We can combo kill them uncounterably, if we so choose. If we think they don't have removal. If we think that everything they've got over there is counter spells and not honest to goodness interaction. They would need 2 pieces of removal though, and they only have 2 white mana. But I think it's just like way more foolproof here to do this, get Ringleader. Another Cavern of Souls is actually a great draw. So we'll tick up because we want to be able to use the Vial instead. Something you can do here if you weren't interested in what's on the top of your deck, like let's say, I don't know, it was like a Blood Moon or something and they had 3 islands, you can just Vial this in an upkeep and shove that Blood Moon to the bottom. Whoa, that was out of tune. They know our whole hand, so there's no reason to try and like hide it. You know 1 is not a goblin. Alright, I'll take a Munitions Expert. I mean, could be worse. And we'll attack them for whatever they're worth. So another Solitude doesn't do too much here because of the Munitions Expert. They will get to exile something, but yep, so they just concede. I almost cast this one by accident, but it is the one on top that we should cast. But anyway, answers just a friend. My advice. So Control is a great matchup for Goblins because the idea of Control, how do I put it? Like, why is... And it's blue-based Control without red that's usually better for us than anything else. It's because they are not about efficiency. They're about overwhelming you with card advantage. And they can't do that to us. We're both casting big, expensive Haymaker spells. We can ignore half of theirs, and they don't have a lot that kills us. So we have infinite time. So it doesn't... Their card quality in the matchup is very low. Whereas something like a Ragavan deck has great card quality, kills you fast, and matches you on card advantage. Not where you want to be. But yes, to continue the old thread, can you keep a double vial against... This is Tron? This is Tron. Can't keep this against Tron. Can't keep this against Tron either. Come on! Can keep this against Tron. Guess which 5 cards we're keeping. Take a guess. Pause the video. Which 5 cards are we keeping? It's not Vile. It's not Ignoble. I mean, you could keep Ignoble because they don't have interaction. But honestly, like, don't fuck around. Just keep your lands and your spells that will win you the game. Now, maybe this is a new version of Tron that plays interaction main deck, but I doubt it. I mean, you would think that they'd have to survive in this meta, but I do not think so. We have black mana. The only thing we don't have is green mana, even though we have Cavern Souls. Oh no. Oh no. That is the first in a series of bad draws. Although, no, it can't even... Because even if there's a Kiki Jiki on top, we win. That is not in the series of bad draws. About to kill him. Throw your hat, it's in the chat. So yeah, back to the topic earlier, not even the limited is the best format, you should only play limited. The modern Metascape, I just coined that term. The modern Metascape is full of decks that are like, your plan is just turn 3 combo them because they don't play interaction. And you feel smart doing it. But you don't always get to do it. So if you hit Tron, Titan, Hammer, you just hit all those decks in a league, you'll feel great. But if you hit Elementals, blue, red, you'll feel awful. Rhinos. Oh my god, Rhinos is bad. Thank you, Slothmancer. Whose emote is that? I like it. Spicy. X90s MT. Look who that is. So obviously Blood Moon is great against Tron. The rest doesn't actually matter, but I mean, we know our game plan, so we just make room for stuff where we can. Like, you're trying to turn 2 Blood Moon them. They play Karn the Great Creator. So, like, maybe... Like, Munitions Expert isn't great. But maybe you keep in, like, 1 Mog War Marshal. I don't think Sting Scourger is good enough to bring in. I don't think any of the other stuff is good enough to bring in, to be honest. You could keep the Ringleader. You could keep... maybe you keep the Vial. Because Vial does, like, allow you to do things... like, scope out the field if you don't have... what's the Elemental's plan? Pray? Yeah, so the plan is pray that you steal game 1. Because you're pretty unfavored. Obviously, okay, so people... When people hear me say that the Elementals matchup is bad, they think that I don't know how to play it most of the time, right? They're assuming like, oh, but you're just not killing their Risen Reef, or you're walking into their Ephemerates. Like, okay, the plan when you play them is keep Risen Reef off the table, don't walk into Ephemerate, hope that they have to use their pitch spells unfavorably, and that you can somehow just combo them, kill them, like, keep them from drawing a lot of cards, right? That's the plan. How often can you actually execute that? Not extremely often. So, like, how do you actually do that? You steal game 1, because you shouldn't really win, but you try and enact that game plan. And then game 2, your plan is to Blood Moon them turn 2 and try to completely lock them out of the game. This is a doo-doo garbage hand from our opponent. I cannot believe they kept it. They are not a good Tron player. That's why they're in this 1-2 bracket. I'm sorry. LeBurch, you mulligan that hand. You don't keep that. That is so bad. You can't even Oblivion Stone me if you played, like, what? It's just not good. Over the Burn Rolls, like, you can play the Oblivion Stone, but you can't activate it. But yeah, so your game plan is to mulligan to your sideboard card that just completely shuts them out of the game, because they make infinite value. Like, they make... Right. This is like, keep a bad hand to make thoughts things worse. Yeah, and just play bad cards in your deck so Ragavan never hits the good ones, right? Like, that also works. Like, if their Ragavan is just a 2-1 that makes a Lotus Petal every turn, that's not that good, even though that's still really good. But yeah, your plan is try to steal game 1, and then because you can't beat them on value, and because they have a bunch of pitch spells that just shut you out of the game, even if you do Blood Moon them, your plan is to Blood Moon them so that they can't cast any spells for real, even though they play like 4 basics, and then hope that you can close the door fast enough. And that's not a good plan. Just because it's our best plan and doesn't make it a good plan. You're not favored by any means. You have to get very lucky. You have to hope that they make a mistake or that they are just not that good. But you are a dog in that matchup now that they play all of the cards that they play. Before Modern Horizons 2, taking a page out of Legacy List, honestly, it's just a meme. I can go over it real quick, because, like, it's a meme and it isn't. I want... So here... Okay. The core of the deck, especially in this meta, although, one second, because this One More Saturday Night recording is buzzing. Although it seems to have stopped. I love this song. Anyway, so like core of the, you know what? Let's go somewhere where we can manipulate it, so I can actually show you what the core of the deck is. So you want 4 Aether Vial, you want 4 Noble Hierarch, you want at least 1 Prospector. You want, in the meta that we're describing, where it's like a lot of just mulling to combo and things like that, you want 4 Snoop, 4 Harbinger. You want to maximize your chance to draw all of them. For the same reason, you want 4 Goblin Mature, because when you don't have them and you have an opportunity, you want to go get them. The cards that stay on the board and generate a ton of value are really, really difficult if you let them stay there. So you kind of need 4 Munitions Expert to kill Ragavans, to kill Risen Reefs, to, you know, to do things like that. You could play less, but at least 3 Munitions Experts is the core, and I think the 4th one is warranted right now. This Mog War Marshal doesn't actually have to be there. Could be anything. This Pyre, but it's good against Ragavan. It blocks Ragavan. That's the idea. It blocks Ragavan. It blocks Goyfs, which people are playing again, whatever. You want this Crater Maker so that you have outs to stupid artifacts game 1, and you don't lose to Stoneforge Mystic and things like that. Pashlik Mons gives you outs to, well, Pashlik Mons isn't actually necessary. It's kind of a flex slot. And then you want your combo package, two Sling Gangs, 2 Kiki Jikis, right? Like this is, the deck has to have this. And you want at least 3 Ringleaders. You could say 4, but the meta's really fast and you can't really outgrind the decks that you want to grind, so I don't think the 4th one is like really where you want to be. So you sort of have these 4 flex slots. And the issue is, and I think you really do want 23 lands. The issue is, if you cut 1 Pyre of Heroes to get to 60, oh man, I didn't want to take all of them out. You now have way less routes to your combo than you used to, like a lot less. So it gets a lot worse. Your combo gets a lot less consistent. Your combo is really important right now. But if you cut the Mog War Marshals, you have less ways to pyre out Boggart Harbinger, so your combo gets less consistent, and you can block Ragavan less often. So you kind of want both of these, and you don't really want to run just 1 Pyre of Heroes. And I know a lot of people run 22 lands, but I really think 23 is the right number. So the 61st card is all of these things. It's the 2nd Pyre of Heroes, it's the 23rd land, it's the Crater Maker so that you can save a sideboard slot, it's the Pashlik Mons, so you have like, and maybe you don't even want to play Pashlik Mons. You could cut it down to 60, but like most people don't like cutting Pashlik Mons just because it's a lot of value. But there's a lot of cards that are vying for the 61st slot, and you kind of want all of them. So what does it do? It makes your chances to draw the combo slightly less likely in your opener. So like you probably shouldn't be playing it in this meta, but it's not that big a deal. And I'd rather have the main deck Crater Maker. I'd rather have the 2nd Pyre. I'd rather have the 23rd land. If I was going to cut down to 60, it would probably be this Pashlik Mons. But it's not important enough to cut it out. It could be it could be a chieftain, it could be a war chief, and it's like, I don't know. And honestly, if you were going to cut this Pashlik Mons, you should probably just add another Skirk Prospector, especially if we expect to see more Living End, and that would still be 61. Like, yeah, there's a lot of cards vying for the last slot, and I kind of just wanted all of them. Nah, it's not Ringleader math. The Ringleader math is play as many goblins as you can, Play as many goblins as you can. Don't reset your deck when you've already put bad cards on the bottom, and you know, by shuffling, and try not to board out past 26 goblins. But your chances to hit 2 goblins with Ringleader drops pretty much only noticeably after you've gone below 26. But here's the thing, and I've said this in the past, so this is not like a new concept that I'm floating around, and important people have agreed with me, but it's not clout chasing or trying to whatever. This is my opinion. If the combo is really important, right, and the grindiness is not where you want to be, other than making your deck as small as possible by playing 60 cards, and we should be doing that, whatever. The ringleaders are effectively only looking for like just raw number of cards isn't that good. So depending on the matchup, you're only looking for a couple cards because most of them just don't matter. So you're looking for matrons and you're looking for snoops and harbingers. And cutting down on garbage Mark War Marshals in a matchup, or like munitions experts that don't target anything, like that doesn't matter because we're not often getting to the point where we're sacking our whole board just of shitters that we've played randomly because we had a long drawn out game. Like, people are slamming the door on us quickly, we're slamming the door on them quickly. So you don't need to just keep your random, you know, garbage bag full of goblins packed to the brim because you're looking for specific things. So it's not a huge deal in the matchups that you have to board out a lot of goblins for much better cards, right? It's not a game breaker. Is this control? Is this guy on? Last seen on Jund? Raugrin? Alright, Joe Beats. We're gonna inform you that you're on goblins. The reason I'm doing this, it's an off chance thing. If we draw a land that doesn't, there you go, come into play tap, we get to save our fetch lands for when we resolve a snoop to reset the top of our deck. When you see Jeskai, it's kind of unlikely that your life total is going to matter that much. Could be Jeskai Ragavan, and then you're dead, but we didn't see that here. So, like, I took a chance. Turn 1 Raugrin Triome. It's probably okay. Wouldn't have been a big deal either way, because you're forced to use a fetch, but we'll take it, you know? That's like one of those things where you're just eking out small edges. They didn't want to counter that. They decided to bolt it. If they had counterspell, they would have used it, I would think, because that way they just tanked a mana. So black hold 1 whole mana. I'm gonna go to the next night. Did they play the exact same show? Yeah, I think this is just mislabeled. It's a weird set of songs here. So, Excessive Iteration, they play Sulphur Falls. They have Bolt Up again. We could just play Skirk Prospector. This is almost definitely just Murktide control. Like, playing a Snoop, it's almost definitely dead. I think I'm willing to just play a Skirk Prospector and pass. It's a tough call. I mean, if they're willing to bolt a Crater Maker just to keep the clock off of them, chances are it's a control deck. I guess this could still be Polymorph? No, it can't be Polymorph because these are Sulfur Falls. Polymorph would play all mountains because Dwarven Mine. So, no matter what, we're going to have to fetch here. Pay 2 life. We'll make him think that this is really important by playing it before we play another land. They let that resolve. This looks like a deck that is not on counterspells and is instead on, or, you know, word rule? Nope, there you go, there's counterspell. Is this just blue-red Breach? Jeskai Breach? Or is this... I don't know. If it's just a classic control deck, we're probably fine, and getting that Snoop countered is better than having this Matron countered, because we're looking for ringleaders if they're just classic control. That's splashing white or prismatic ending, it's probably my guess. We have a ton of mana. Yeah, there you go, there's prismatic ending. They still have counterspell up. I think while resolving this Goblin Matron is a big deal, and yeah, they will counter it here. Resolving the Aether Vial, also a big deal. They don't seem to have Teferi based on the way they're playing. Like, I feel, this might not be true, I feel like they would have already played Teferi and held up counterspell, but they haven't, so. But if they Teferi bounce our Vial, we're like a little bit fucked. There you go. A little bit fucked. They could have waited a turn. But here's probably a counterspell. So we gotta draw a Cavern of Souls. I mean, I didn't have to cast this into Archmage's Charm. They may just be out of counterspells. But even if they're not, and this is Archmage's Charm, when you play against control, I mentioned earlier, you're trying to beat them on the card advantage axis, right? So if you can prevent them from using Archmage's Charm to draw 2, that's a good thing. There you saw that they didn't counter our spell and instead Archmage's Charm for 2. So we were kinda, you can call it bait. We were content to continue trading 1 for 1. And and they were not. So I think they made the right call. Especially since they have removal from Patchlick Bonds anyway. But this looks more like Counterspell than Archmage's Charm. I don't really want to cast Sling Gang just straight up into a Counterspell. I hope I get something worse. Ooh, talk about worse. Tell me about worse. Keyword bad, in action, getting counterspelled. They have 3 cards in hand. If they pass the turn, Magma Marshall's MVP, I mean, it's literally just a piece of cardboard that you can cast. Like, it's so anemic. I don't think he would have countered it unless he felt like he couldn't lose, to be perfectly honest. But it did allow us to not just skip our own turn. Usually, when it's on the edge and they don't feel like they've already won the game, they just won't counter it. And then you can, you know, get a little bit of value in whatever, but Okay, I mean, with that, that is a much better card than Sling Gang Lieutenant. We'll know if they have a counter based on if this resolves or not. It resolves, which, pretty big. I would be shocked if they Archmage's Charm, yeah. So they were just representing it, they don't have it. So now we have to keep the counter of, like, cards drawn since they didn't have an Archmage's Charm, and so far it's 1. Or any counterspell for that matter. They could just Supreme Verdict here. They've drawn 1 card since not having a counterspell. That's it. So I am going to cast this Ringleader because I'm down to fade 1 draw step. Like, next turn they bounce the Vial, so I don't get to cast this uncounter, or I don't get to Vial it in uncounterably. So, like, it is what it is. So we wouldn't have faded it, but they're deciding to cast this Snapcaster Mage to keep their Teferi alive. Are they gonna fire my Sling Gang? Is that the plan here? Oh, fire splits the damage. That's pretty sick. So we sack our stuff. We'll attack Teferi to trade with a Snapcaster token. I still don't think that they have a counterspell. But they did have a Snapcaster Mage, so like... And you know what? That Boggart Harbinger is actually a pretty good draw. Because even if they counter this now... If this comes into play and the trigger goes on the stack, I'm stacking my deck. I'm going to put another Ringleader on top. Because it's the best possible draw. That's it! Just the 1! Oh my god. Alright. That sucks. Now, we could have gotten exactly that outcome. We could have gotten exactly that outcome by just playing the Boggart Harbinger at end step after casting Ringleader. Maybe I should have done that. Maybe I should have done that. Although... I'm willing... it was fancy. There's that, at least. Are they gonna bounce this? Nope. So they know I have a Ringleader, and they chose to tick up Teferi. What does that say about them? I'm gonna say that means they knew I was slinging 4 damage at them, and not that they drew a counterspell and didn't need to draw a card. And it turns out I'm correct. So we have a bunch of The only reason I'm attacking this Teferi, by the way, is because I need to keep a Vial in play, because it is my only source of uncounterability. Otherwise, I'd be attacking their life total and not caring that they're ticking up Teferi, because, like, 1 card in hand, instant speed, Supreme Verdict, like, that's not a huge deal. But, yeah, this Vial is gonna, like, it just makes all of their counterspells dead draws, so, like, they'll have even more air in their deck. And they have a lot of it already. So we'll attack them. They know our entire hand. It's all been revealed. So, no problem here revealing that. Gonna try and resolve it. We actually don't have another ringleader in our deck, do we? Oops. I recall only seeing one. Yup. 3 ringleaders are in the graveyard. So... we can get Snoop or Matron. I think Snoop is the better call. Matron is just like you start matroning for matrons. I don't like that. That's for cowards. Don't know how to make a decision. They have 21 cards left in their deck, by the way. We have 36, but... I gotta imagine there's some gas. But maybe not. Maybe they are on Wafo Tapa style control, and they have like 1 5-mana Teferi to win the game with. That's their plan. Now this expressive iteration, I gotta imagine they have a counterspell now. You can't look at 3 cards and I'm saying, oh yeah, you still have no counters. No way. Although let's count. Let's count what they've played so far. They've played counterspell, counterspell, counterspell. That's 3 of them. And then 1 charm. So I imagine they have 1 more charm and 1 more counterspell. And a bunch of Snapcaster mages. Wow, Snap Expressive. That's not good. The first Murktide Regent they cast is gonna wreck us. Also, I think this is the type of deck that we bring in Leyline against, actually. Willing to do that. They don't look to have much bounce. Like, if they have bounce, it's Cryptic Command. We haven't seen a single one yet. God damn, my throat hurts.
I've been on the stage with some of the greatest.
What?
Cats like
That's so strange. That means there's no Supreme Verdict over there?
the magnificent Bobby Daring.
I mean, it means there's no Supreme Verdict, and it means that they're kind of afraid of dying to our beats. So, like, next turn I'm drawing Snoop. Oh, I just got fucking blown out. Oh my god. That's bad. I think I just hold Snoop? Nah. You don't hold Snoop, because there could be cards on top that you want to draw. Oh my goodness, that's bad. We may lose this game. We resolved a bunch of ringleaders, and they didn't do anything. That is like... that's not good. Well, he drew 2. Joe Beats. What else do they have? The Prism. I mean, 13 cards left. Commence the Snapcaster Beats. I have nothing but shitheads to block. So, like, if you don't ever find a Murktide, you're in trouble. But what are the chances? We did see a Murktide, right? Definitely taking up both.
Yes, yeah. Baby, you know
I mean... Kiki Jiki is a card. I'll play it. And I think I would block. Because I lose to Murktide kind of no matter what, right?
Big sister. Have mercy.
Yep, kind of expected that.
Better still go home and ask Mama.
Never avoiding that. Unless we tick up Vial of 5, I guess. But by the time you tick up Vial of 5, you're at like 7 life. Less than that. 5 life. That bolt would have been much closer to lethal. Good cards here are Matrons.
Before I step back,
Hmm.
I gotta tell you about this.
I mean, it's uncounterable.
In 1958,
I think we'll take 2.
going back to the Brooklyn Fox Theater,
And then,
the Paramount.
unless they, like, cast Archmage's Charm there, yeah. We'll take 2.
I remember the time when the kids used to come and
They have no more fetchables.
to see the show and they'd bring their lunch. Because they didn't go to school.
If they draw a card, is this just going to be, like, Snap Bolt?
He ended up bringing his lunch too.
That kills us.
They're sucking it to him.
That would have killed us no matter what, though. Yeah, we don't have any outs to that in the main. Damn, it's gonna suck to lose to a control deck for the 3-2, but it is what it is. This really seems like the perfect Leyline of the Void deck. I guess you want this for Murktide. I don't think anything else matters. Aether Vial makes our stuff uncounterable. Pyre of Heroes is infinite value. The combo, not important. You do want Mogwar Marshal. Kiki Jiki's infinite value. Can probably side out a land. And maybe Crater Maker. And then Munitions Expert kind of is duty. And then we need one more card out. Maybe you don't want all 4 ley lines. Maybe you don't want... No, you do want all 4 vials, though. Yes, I'd like to play first. I mean, you can't keep this. Just as painful. Cavern is fine. This is a good hand. So ideally, you don't show them the Cavern to, like, affect their scries. But... I think... It's like... So, yeah, I think we play Mountain turn 1 and Vial, then turn 2... You know, let's say they,
Come on, y'all, clap your hands.
the Prismatic or Vial. Oh. Yeah, I mean... Maybe they're on Spreading Seas. There's no sideboard cards that I want to play that need basic Mountain, so I guess I'll keep both Caverns. And you can forget everything I said about not wanting to play it. It's not important enough that I'm putting back the Caverns. Because in control matchups, being able to just definitely get your triggers is a big deal. So you want the Cavern. Anyway, this is going to be our last match of the night. It's because my throat is killing me. Our record so far is positive and will remain positive no matter what, actually. Because we went 4-1 and didn't go 1-4. So, deck's in a decent spot. People are playing control, people are playing combo. You can turn 3. There's some decks without a lot of interaction. A lot of the best decks, though, we do have a difficult time against. That Snoop was a fantastic draw, actually. Because we can just kind of like keep pushing on their hand. Oh, and that's a good draw too. You just like you can have. Thank you, Slothmancer. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's fine. Like a lot of the best decks we're really bad against, like Rhinos, Rhinos and Ragavan and things like that. You can bring the matchups closer to even with sideboard cards, but you gotta find them, and you know, it's a little bit difficult. You're 50-50 against most of the field. It feels like, especially after game 1, but as far as like total matches go, you're close to 50. So we could Matron here and just like grab Harbinger. I have a feeling, like, why would you do that? What does that say about their hand? I do kind of want this land, though. Right? Like, you don't want to plan Supreme Verdict. They just have a Fury? Is that what they have? Can't beat Fury. Although I could if I had it here. I guess I'm just gonna... If they have Fury, we're dead. More or less. We need to draw land if they end up with a Fury, but... The reason we waited till this to see what was on top until attacking was that it could be a Kiki-Jiki. So you just want to give yourself those outs. Because you'll kick yourself if you don't. That prismatic ending, such a strange play. Also, taking the 4-drop off the top of our deck when you know I don't have a land is very weird too. Spending the card, oh, I guess that's why. I see. They could have stopped the combo with their Thought Scour. And again, are not killing. I'm just gonna play another Snoop, I guess. They did this in my main, which is a mistake. I think they have another Thought Scour, right? But I think I'm supposed to go for it? Like, just play this? Because we really don't want to draw this mountain. I'm like... Maybe they make a mistake? Because we can just pass here. I'm sure they realize that, though. Nope, they're paying the costs. All right. Sorry, Joe Beats, you fucked up. I don't need a main phase to combo you. It's things like this where it's like, it was definitely incorrect to interact there because, like, even if you only have one piece of removal, I'm giving you until next turn to draw one by passing. So, like, just wait. I either have to make a move by my upkeep or, you know, I can't combo you out. But this, you know, not the best. So, like, even if they Solitude me when I go... Well, actually, if they solitude me when I go to copy this Harbinger, I'm screwed, right? But they didn't. And they're just dead. How have I been? I've been okay. Matches have been going okay. My throat is killing me. We're playing for 3-2 here. We just took advantage of a big mistake they made. We'll hope to do the same next game. I think we want 23 on the play. On the draw, excuse me. Oh no, it's the opposite of that you're supposed to do. Oh no! Well, that was dumb. My throat is killing me from what? Just from yelling over the music and the air conditioner. In fact, let me turn the air conditioner off. Give my throat a rest. I think this hand is fine. Like in a long game, these are the cards you want to see. And that's good too. Thoughtseize. Figure out what's going on in their hand. They got Thought Scours, Teferis. Teferi bounces Leyline of the Void, which is like not good. But I think I'm just gonna try to stick this Snoop, so let's do it.
I want you to have yourself one hell of a good time here this evening.
Who is this?
We can have a good time.
They have Thought Scour. They
They
drew this Flooded Strand.
Have mercy. So get happy, but don't get nervous.
Because I have this Bloodstained Mire,
All right, now let's get
I'm
together
just
and
gonna
have a
grab a
real
mountain instead of a
romantic
stomping ground. Like, if they, for whatever reason, switch to Spreading Seas post-board, which I
evening.
doubt
I'm
they
gonna do a
do,
thing for my latest album.
we still have a way to fetch.
In a couple of weeks or so.
Still have a way to fetch our green mana.
This little thing that I think is very
So
cute.
now they have to make a decision with this Teferi if they bounce my Snoop or if they bounce my Leyline of the Void. I imagine that they'll bounce my Snoop, but we'll see. So they played that Sulphur Falls and one Teferi. Yes, they choose the Snoop. And that's fine. We'll play it again. Actually, I was almost definitely supposed to play the fetch land, even though they knew about the stuff. But that's fine. We can't actually combo with them with the Thought Scour in hand, so not something we want to try to do. But Snoop's still one of the best things to play, basically always. For that reason, if only we had one more mana. I am going to attempt to kill Teferi. This is not a big deal because they have a second one.
Wait a minute. I want the girls to help me out here a little bit.
This is sort of
Come
what
on,
I
girls,
expected.
when I say, take it all, baby. Y'all answer me. You ready?
I
Take it all,
could have played
baby.
Hierarch first.
Wait a minute. You didn't
Okay, having another Snoop on top actually means that
All right,
I
girls, you ready?
think I'm just gonna play higher.
I say, are you ready, girls? Take it all, baby. Come on, answer after me. Take it all.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm not supposed to do that. Although they didn't have another land, did they? So
Come on, let's do
they're
it
doing all
again.
right here.
I want the girls to repeat after me.
But there's their land.
Take it all, baby.
This could be Supreme Verdict now. Might be Prismatic
Take it
Ending.
all on. Come on, girls, you got it. Take it all, baby.
So
Take it all.
this turn, I'm planning on
Wait a minute.
playing Hierarch and Matron.
Girls, y'all ain't strong enough. Fellas, I know you know how to beg. All right, fellas, let's do it.
They kind of, sort of have to counter this, but they don't.
Baby.
Yeah.
Take it all on.
So we can get out a Snoop uncounterably by piring away this Noble Hierarch. I'm curious if they're gonna bounce my Leyline. They do. I'm sure they realize I can recast that though. Like that's you know, the benefit of actually playing black and red while you're boarding into ley lines. I think they already cast this Thought Scour actually.
You got everything a man would want.
They haven't cast a second Teferi.
Mustache, a mustache.
They could. No, they can't play. They can't play Murktide yet.
You even got hair on your chest, honey. Never mind, just
I wonder who this is. I'm sure I could look it up. Like, they're priced into countering my Leyline of the Void, right? So that means I shouldn't cast it?
a little tune that I had the pleasure of recording a few years ago. Recently covered by some very good friends of mine, the Rolling Stones. A little thing entitled Mona.
So we know they have Teferi and we know they have Murktide and they chose not to cast either of them. They don't know that we don't have fourth land for Leyline, so it's like very tough for them to counter this. There you go. Do I want to just put a Snoop into play here? I think I do. Aw, man. That fucks up our plan, dude. Could have done it first, but I guess they would have just bolted the Snoop, so... I guess at least you have one in there. So they're gonna play a Murktide Regent that is 6/6. Nope, they choose not to. Instead, they are going to bounce our Pyre of Heroes, which is a good call. Even if I play this Leyline now, their Murktide will still be big. It's almost a trap to even play the Murktide. Or to even play the Leyline, because what happens is every time they exile a spell because of Leyline of the Void, I'm pretty sure the Murktide just gets bigger. Oh no, it leaves your graveyard, so it never even enters. So if I believe I can resolve something, I think I want to resolve Leyline. Because like they can get a big Murktide. Oh no, it just kills us in 2 turns, doesn't it? Oh, man, they actually didn't even need to do that. I messed up. We need to find Stink Scourger here, and like only Stink Scourger. So, oh man, I actually just messed this game up. But yeah, this is we're dead. Almost definitely dead. I shouldn't have cast Leyline. I should have probably just cast Sling Gang Lieutenant. I mean, we can play Sling Gang Lieutenant and maybe buy a turn, but...
Yeah!
Torpor Orb books us. Because it means we need to get Crater Maker and then... So this is like a little bad. I don't think we can win. Because whatever we search out doesn't even trigger. So Pashlik Mons is the only card that does anything. And this Murktide's gonna kill us. So yeah. This is when I talk about how control matchups are good for us, and then I give the caveat like except blue-red, that's always difficult. You can kind of see why. They have a lot of cheap interaction that, you know, kind of just trades with us favorably, and they get to dig for what they need. And like the cheap interaction and these big, very difficult to remove threats kind of just end it really quick. For the old way they used to do it was through the breach. So like so you can't combo. It's kind of tough to keep a board state, and then like all of a sudden you get through the breached. It's the same deal here. We're just dead. So that's gonna do it for us. It was close. Like there were opportunities. I'm not sure that it actually, like maybe if I had gotten Slinging into play, I have an extra Goblin or two, and then they play Torpor Orb. I don't think I win that game. It's tough. I don't know if Leyline is even the place you want to be for a control matchup like this. Like you can see here, like they had one island. Maybe Blood Moon would have just been way better. But it is what it is. It was close. We played all right. So we went 4-1 into 2-3 for a total of 6-4. It's not great. It's nothing to write home about. You wouldn't day 2 with that record in any kind of GP. But the deck is okay. You got to hit the good matchups. But, you know, even the matchups that used to be slam dunks like blue-white, or even Jeskai, I guess just call it Jeskai control, they got a lot better. So, you know, you can lose. They used to be unlosable, now you can lose, you saw. But anyway, thank you for joining me. If you're new here, what we do all the time. Oh, I missed a follow 4 hours ago? I don't even think I was streaming 4 hours ago, but Haas, if you're watching now, maybe you followed before I started or something. Thank you for the follow. Thank you for showing up, everybody who did, Slothmancer. Thank you, I appreciate the compliment. I try my best to tell you exactly what's going on in my head. I know I'm sort of down on the deck, and I realize that. I'm sort of down on the format, and I realize that. I think there are just like people are complaining in general about Magic right now, and I think they're missing. I think it's a very rare person that is aware enough of like even themselves to tell you why they don't like something, but it's also like really difficult to tell you why games aren't fun. You know what I mean? Like game design is very difficult. Not everybody has an eye for it. Not everybody has ever looked into it at all. I don't know if I have an eye for it, but I've looked into it and I can see some patterns that I don't think are good. So anyway, right now people are like complaining about play draw being a problem, and play draw is important in Modern. And it's because you kind of need to get these huge hoser spells out like ASAP, because you can't really play a fair game against a lot of the decks. You kind of are just moving past each other. It's not interactive. Everybody has a ton of resources. And the best way people have found to deal with that is to just shut them off from casting those things entirely. So they're playing Chalices, they're playing Leylines of the Void, they're playing Blood Moons to keep them from casting their spells at all, Leyline of the Void to make their spells just like worse. So like that's the plan, instead of what I would call healthier cards like Fatal Push, Thoughtseize, Tarfire, things like that. And it's just a symptom of how strong the threats are and how much value they get. You're gonna fall behind trading 1-for-1 with Lurrus, because Lurrus will always, before you get priority, will take something out of the graveyard, right? If they're playing properly. You know, same goes for a lot of these cards. Omnath, even Risen Reef, but you know, Risen Reef isn't really the problem. Ephemerate is like a 3-for-1, right? Like it's a 2-for-1 on just the Ephemerate card, and then whatever X-for-1 you're getting off of the card that you're bouncing, like, you know, that is incredible. So there's just like enormous card advantage, and it's swingy, but people close the door so fast when you give them even a single turn. So your goal is like, well, let me just like not give them any real turns. Let me Blood Moon them. Let me Leyline of the Void them. And I don't think that leads to fun gameplay. I think a powered down format is nice. I like powered down decks. That's why I'm playing Goblins in general, right? It's like super fair, even though it has a combo. You're not going to get punked out by, you know, oh, I gained infinite life. Stupid stuff. Like, you can beat Heliod. You have game against everybody. So the deck is always fun. I recommend it wholeheartedly for F&M. Things like that. But if you're showing up to the challenge and you're trying to be competitive, you know, you're kind of burning 30 tickets unless you really just hit all of the matchups that are just like coin flips, which is like all the combo matchups, and then you dodge all the matchups that are 50-50. So it's like you're really trying to hope it works out in some really magical Christmas land way. And I would just tell you, play Rhinos. Rhinos is the best deck. Rhinos you're going to play every game. It's not really the same with other decks. So anyway, thank you for joining me. If you're new, like I was saying, we play Goblins here all the time. Give us a follow on Twitch to see when we go live. We're going to keep doing this, even though I don't think we're well positioned. But, you know, you can get, you know, we made a profit today, so it's okay. Yeah, so give us a follow on Twitch, subscribe on YouTube. All these go up on there. But if you're watching on YouTube, just come hang out on Twitch. The best part is talking to people while we play. So have a good night. Thanks again. See you around. Oh, also join the Goblins Discord. It's linked periodically throughout the stream, but you'll find it on my below the Twitch channel as well. Have a good night.